Could mental health issues have played a part in the tragic and for so many unbelievable death of soccer star and soccer captain of the elite Stanford University's women's soccer team, Katie Meyer's? Katie Meyer's cause of death was confirmed on March 3, 2022, after sheriff's deputies reported to the Stanford University campus at 11:33 a.m. on March 1st to respond to a death investigation. A recent video I created offered a detailed recount of the documentary Suburban Nightmare, a 2022 documentary that takes a socio-psychological look at various aspects of the Watts tragedy, the murders of a 15-week pregnant mother and her two beautiful daughters. I ended this particular video citing some universal and practical wisdom brought to light throughout the documentary by some of the clinical psychologists, authors, and psychotherapists featured in the documentary. One psychologist and author, Cheryl Ziegler, author of Mommy Burnout, noted that
burnout is a real thing. Is it a coincidence that we are now in a mental health epidemic? Is it a coincidence that there are epidemic levels of anxiety and depression? She connects this epidemic crisis of the mind, the human spirit, with smartphones and being connected all the time, looking at your screen, rather than looking into the eyes of a person you are getting to know, someone you love, or just, someone you got to interact with throughout the day, rather than a computer and a robot. Social media adds to the pressure people have to perform every day, to look better than what is realistic in their lives. We all have struggles, and struggles are normal and even healthy. They build who you are. Social media adds pressure to be perfect and to show your best self all the time.
Yeah, and that happens sometimes. Sometimes there are suicides. I've heard many cases where very popular person doing well in school, top athlete, those kind of things. And sometimes that does happen. Sometimes people really hide their feelings, their emotions, and they're not able to talk about it. And really encouraging people to talk and really encouraging people to open up, I think, is a key to how we can help prevent suicides in those situations when it doesn't seem like there's...
Right. It's just horrific.
The close-knit family spoke often. Their final conversation with their daughter was just hours before she took her own life.
She was excited. She had a lot on her plate. She had a lot going on, but she was happy. She was in great spirits.
It was the usual jovial Katie.
Yeah.
One constant can
Her parents say they believe she received an email regarding a disciplinary action and that she might have been in trouble.
Katie being Katie, was defending a teammate on campus over an incident, and the repercussions of her defending that teammate.
We have not seen that email yet. She had been getting letters for a couple months. This letter was kind of the final letter that there was going to be a trial or some kind of something. This is the only thing that we can come up with that triggered something.
Her parents now wondering if between school and sports, it was too much pressure.
There is anxiety and there is stress to be perfect, to be the best, to be number one.
The Meyers speaking out to make sure other parents don't suffer the same tragedy. The emotions of their loss are raw.
We're struggling right now, Stephanie. We are just struggling to know, what happened and why it happened, We're just heartbroken. We're so heartbroken. And
Katie's mom wearing her daughter's sweatshirt, one she wore in a post just last Friday.
It's going to sound crazy, but every mom is going to understand this. But when you smell it, it smells like her. It smells like Katie. Just her scent. I'm wearing it because it just feels, I want to be close to her. So yes, it is hers.
The Meyer family has nothing, but praise for Stanford. Sorry.
It's okay. Speak us.
They want to start a conversation about opening up communication between schools and parents. These parents feel they missed an opportunity to step in and possibly help. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
No sorry is necessary.
Nope.
Thank you.
Thank you. That is how we all feel.
Yeah.
And we will be right back.
That's not an easy story to tell. Thank you.
The death of 22-year-old rising star Katie Myers has shocked the college soccer world.
Tonight we're learning more about the circumstances around her death and the warning signs of someone in trouble. We go live to Sherman Oaks, where Fox 11's Hal Eisner has more. Hal?
Yeah, such a tragic story. We're on Mulholland Drive in Sherman Oaks. As you look down on the San Fernando Valley, all lit up at night, it probably wouldn't be a stretch to say someone down there may be in trouble, depressed, and maybe needing a helping hand. The CDC says suicide is on the rise, has been for a few years. And we now know Stanford student Katie Meyer died by suicide. Katie Meyer was a Stanford soccer star. She was captain of her team. On NBC's Today Show, her mom said Katie died from suicide. She was wearing her daughter's sweatshirt as she struggled to understand what happened.
It's going to sound crazy, but every mom is going to understand this. But when you smell it, it smells like her. It smells like Katie.
Oh my God. First, I want to convey my deepest sympathies to the Meyer family. The tragedy is unspeakable. I am all too familiar with the unbearable pain and shock they're in.
Ron Silverman's son was named Matthew.
He took his own life.
That was in 2006.
I'm in a fraternity that's an involuntary life sentence. Others have lost children. They know what I mean. At this stage in my life, I have a broken heart, but I'm able to move on. And there's a corner of my heart that's permanently impaired, but I've fortunately been able to move on with my life and smile again and enjoy what life has to offer.
A year after Matthew's death, Ron started a website called mattsfoundation.org. It has videos.
He wasn't open with us about the depth of his depression.
And is filled with resources to help others in the same situation. So what are the warning signs for the Katies and Matts in our world? We asked psychotherapist Dr. Lynn Ianni.
A change in behavior on some level, like if this is an outgoing person, they seem to be more isolated lately. Are they in a situation where they've been depressed for a time? Is there some unusual frustration or activity?
Meyer's parents say Katie may have been fearful over a possible disciplinary action by her school. For Matt Silverman, it was a breakup with a girlfriend. Ron Silverman turned grief into action with the foundation in his son's name.
So we put suicide prevention programs into high schools, and at this point, we've probably seen over 1 million kids around the country. And I'm hopeful to say that we probably have saved some lives in that process.
For anyone who needs help, this number is so very important. It's the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. The number is 1-800-273-8255. Alex and Christine, these numbers just continue to go up. Back to you.
22-year-old Katie Meyer was just months away from graduation with a bright future ahead.
And I've never seen someone who's put so much heart and soul into so many different aspects of her life.
The star goalie of the Stanford University women's soccer team was a natural leader with a big personality.
And it only goes up from here.
The California native was found dead in her dorm room on Tuesday. The soccer world stunned.
She just lived life to the fullest always.
We sat down with her parents, Steve and Gina Meyer, in the wake of the unthinkable.
She died by suicide. The last, couple of days are like a parent's worst nightmare, and you don't wake up from it. So it's just horrific.
The close-knit family spoke often. Their final conversation with their daughter was just hours before she took her own life.
She was excited. She had a lot on her plate. She had a lot going on, but she was happy. She was in great spirits.
It was the usual jovial
Katie. Yeah.